Hi, everybody.
Everybody.
Welcome to Tuesday night Knit Chat in the Knit Chat Cafe. My name is Noelle, and this is my friend
Kelly.
And we are coming to you from Southwestern Ontario, and I have a frog in my throat today. I think I talked too much on the weekend. So anyway, we welcome everybody here. We are a knitting podcast. We don't always say that. In fact, last week, because I started, I don't even know if we had an introduction. But anyways, we are a knitting podcast, and we come to you weekly in the Knit Chat Cafe, and yeah, just a gathering with all our knitter friends. So welcome, everybody. So I see there's lots of people in here tonight from all over, lots of people working on lots of different projects. So
Linda got us started off today from Ottawa after I posted got the podcast up and going. And Emily says she's back in Chilliwack. Okay, Emily, I'm headed there next week. We should get together. We need a little knit visit. All right. Yes, lots of people in here, and it's hot and humid everywhere. I'm sorry. It's just,
I think so.
Except for my basement. My basement is cool, really cool.
I don't think
today's as bad as the house.
I don't think today here is as bad as yesterday. At least where I am, it's not. Yesterday was oppressive. It was just. And yesterday, Kelly and I were away on the weekend. We went to the Makers Meetup in Hoffman Estates,
Chicago, Illinois. Yes.
And yesterday, I was so tired, I could not focus on anything, like nothing. I couldn't even sit down and knit. I was just like from one thing to the other, and should I do this? Should I do that? And I just was totally unfocused. So today was better.
I had such a busy day yesterday. I didn't have a minute to think. I was up very, very late the night before. And then yesterday I had an appointment in the morning, and I had dinner with my monthly girlfriends that I get together with. And so it turned into a late evening by the time I got home and got everything settled. So I had a really chaotic day, and just trying to catch up on laundry and getting organized to head out again this week. So it's been a really busy time.
Yeah. And that's the same. We leave again this Friday. So it's like, unpack the suitcase, but leave the suitcase out because you're going to need it again. And yeah. So, but anyway, it was
amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Like, I just can't. I mean, knitters are the best.
They are the best.
They're just the best.
So, my knitting heart is full. My cup runneth over. I think this was the biggest turnout yet. So this has gone on. I don't know how many years this has gone on. This is the 4th year that we have attended.
5. I think there was only 1 before we went.
Was there only 1? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think this was the largest attendance yet. I think on the Saturday there were about 110 people spread over 2 rooms and a front lobby and outside space. We really took over the hotel, and it was just lovely to meet people that we've met there before and get to revisit them.
Yeah.
And there were still new people coming this year.
I know. Like it seems like we catch up with old friends, and then we meet a whole lot of new people and a whole lot of new friends. And it's just amazing. And for saying that being like a knitting weekend, I got less done than I would get done if I didn't go on a knitting weekend.
And I got less done even than that, but and I want to give a huge shout out to the 2 organizers, which is Penny, who is PJ Knits on Ravelry, and she has a podcast as well. You can find her as PJ Knits on YouTube, and Kendra, and I'm not sure of Kendra's Instagram name, but you would find her through Penny for sure.
Yeah.
And they have been hosting now. Is this their 2nd year hosting or 3rd? Second year hosting, and they are bringing it. I'm just telling you, they put on a lovely event. I hope everybody felt as warm and welcomed as we did, and it's just amazing. Like the things that are there. So maybe just to give a quick little recap about what the Makers Meetup is. It is basically a hotel that we gather at, and we just hang out with our friends and knit. And there is a store that you can go shopping at if you have the means to get there. But there were also some very kind people that were behaving as shuttles and taking some people with them. If they had come in, we go by train, so we don't have a vehicle. And so we did a little bit of shopping, but there's also there's at this meetup. One is called the Put and Take, and it is where you can bring some things, maybe, and it doesn't have to just be yarn. It could be books, it could be finished projects, something needles, anything fibery related that is just somehow not bringing you joy anymore, or maybe that you don't have a need for. And then if you are attending the event, you can feel welcome to wander up there and peruse the take table. And let me tell you, the best prices of any yarn store you'll ever go to.
It was amazing. And it kept changing on a regular basis.
It does.
More people brought stuff in, and it just was amazing. And then there was also a fabulous table full
snacks,
of all sorts of snacks and treats, and there was coffee all the time. And it was really a wonderful event. And I also want to say, I know that Penny and Kendra were the main organizers, but I know they had a lot of help from Debbie. And they also had big input from Sandy, who makes our bags, and her daughter Cher. So we want to make sure that we give a shout out to them too, because altogether they just put on an absolutely wonderful event. And it was called, someone had asked, it's called the Makers Meetup.
Yes.
And I swear, honestly, I haven't done that much talking in just, anyway, but it was amazing. So
it was. And Julia came with us this year. And it was funny, we had name tags this year, and Julia had on her name tag, "I'm that Julia." So it was just funny. And I asked her, just even early on in the first day, I said, "So what are you thinking already?" And she's just like, it's just more than she could have ever imagined. And you end up coming away from this event just feeling so completely reinvigorated. You felt the love, you got the hugs, just the support, walking around a room, looking at everyone's projects, and recognition of the FOs that happened while we were there, none by me, but anyway, it was great. It was just great. So
okay, and Lisa, it's held in Hoffman Estates, I believe. Was it it
was a Hilton Garden Inn.
Hilton Garden Inn, okay. And Lauren, no, we have tried to convince Sandy to sell her bags, but nope, she just won't. So she likes doing it, but she likes doing it for a purpose like the beat up, or and she also does a lot of things for charity too. So she gets joy making them and giving them out. So and we're thankful to her for that. So
yes. Okay. We've got somebody in here saying they live an hour from Wool & Co. They should have gone. You should have come. You should have come.
Yep, should have gone.
So it will be happening again next year. And there is information that will come out later in the year on PJ Knits, both her Instagram as well as her Ravelry group and her podcast. And they make the announcements on there. And it's just, it's an amazing event. I cannot recommend it enough. You know, we go to our fair share of events, but this is the one that I truly feel probably the most blessed at, if I'm being honest, just because it's just lovely.
Well, and it's just low key. It's basically just knitters getting together and knitting. And actually there were people spinning. Kelly, you were doing paper piecing for a while. There were people crocheting.
There was stitching, cross stitching there as well. Yes. Yep. So you can really just do anything you like, anything
portable. You can bring. So so it was. And
hi, Colette was there too. And Regina. Yes. So many people. And Amy.
Yep. And Amy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Julia had 3 FOs. That's right. She did. Yes, it was just lovely. So I'm anticipating going again next year. I can't wait. And when you get there, you think, oh, I'm going to have so much time to see all the people. And then by Sunday, when we're packing up,
it goes just like that. Like you can't believe how fast. I know, it just goes by so fast.
And it's lovely. So. Okay, so that's what we did this weekend. I hope everybody else had a lovely weekend as well. If you are knitting, I hope you got a chance to get outside and do some knitting, maybe that it wasn't too hot. And summer is probably really close to being officially half over at this point in time. So spend all of the time that you can outside, because it is a long, long winter before we get back here again. So
okay. So I actually don't have any questions this week.
Well, we chatted a lot about
unless it was something that I missed, I'll go over it more closely before next week. But I really went through the emails, didn't see any, and kind of went through the comments and didn't see any. So if I did miss anything, email me again. and we'll look at that next week. So,
okay. And Julia had a comment, and Julie, before we leave the makers meetup, you are exactly right. It is all about the building of relationships and community. And as Penny said in her podcast or in her Instagram post today, was something right along those lines. And then I think she ended the sentence by saying one stitch at a time. And it was really just a lovely sentiment.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So moving on. So maybe we'll move on to what we're wearing.
Okay.
Okay. So what are you wearing?
I am wearing let me pull up the banner. I am wearing the Mid-Ocean Tee by Beth McDonald Stone. This is a sweater that I did as a test knit for Beth, and I quite like it. I don't know that I've had a chance to wear it yet this summer, but I really like the color, and I do have a couple of pictures in here too. So just so you can see that the pattern is on the front as well as the back. And I made this one using Coast and Titicaca held together throughout the entire sweater. I used 1.4 skeins of the Coast and 1.4 of the Titicaca, but that doesn't mean it was equal yardage. Somehow it's different yardage because one is thinner than the other. But the color that I used is Thistledown in the Coast, which is no longer available. Sorry. And Lupine for the Titicaca. It came out as a special order last year. I think they occasionally pull out colors from the archive. And when I saw this color, I knew I had to have it. I didn't know what I was going to make with it, but I had to have it. So
I'm pretty sure they still have it in the
super soft, right?
But not,
but not in the Coast. So, but they may bring it back. It's hard to say. And I really do like the sweater. I love a good raglan sleeve. My shoulders are very square. And I feel for me, the raglan is what I tend to think looks flattering on my very square shoulders. Somehow it seems less square. I don't know. It's like an optical illusion.
Well, maybe it just gives a little bit more shape.
Yes. So that's how I feel about a raglan. This was really fun to knit. The pattern, I think once you got going on it, it was pretty intuitive, and it was a pretty quick knit too. And I think that's all I have.
I know
to say
I haven't gotten mine out and worn it this year yet either. So
I usually wear it with the denim dress that you saw in the picture, because I do think that it's just a really good in the past if it's a little bit high for summer. So maybe on a really hot day, it's probably not one that I would reach for. But I find that Coast, because the construction of Coast, it's 45-55 cotton wool. It's very, very breathable. And then the Titicaca is alpaca. So I know that adds a little bit of warmth back into the fiber. But there's obviously so many holes in this sweater. It's very breathable. So it's okay. Yeah.
Yep. And the Coast is very soft. It's 45 cotton, and the wool that's in it is actually lamb's wool.
Yes, very soft.
Yeah. Okay, so I am wearing the Haiku by Knitting for Breakfast. And this is done in the Loving Path Merlin, which is 90% merino, 10% linen. And this is the colorway Piper. And it took 154 grams, and this is knit on a 3.25 millimeter needle. The gauge of the sweater is 25 stitches for 4 inches. So again, like I'm wearing it inside today, I think with the 90% merino, it might be a little bit hot for outside.
If you were outside,
but it's perfect in the summer for if you're in air conditioning. They do have a picture. So so I really like this yarn. I think you've knit with this yarn too, Kelly. But it's really
I actually had the sweater with me this weekend.
Yep, drapey. She's got lots of amazing colors in it, and it's really nice to knit with. So I think that's the first time I've had this one on this. I have a lot of summer tops now, so it's hard to get them all in there. And basically, if I'm home and not going out anywhere, I'm sitting out by the pool, so I don't have a knitted tee on. But it was nice to bring them. I brought a lot of them this weekend and wore them this weekend.
So in that yarn that you're wearing, it's also hard to believe that only 10% makes such a difference in the fabric. Like the colorway that I have is a darker teal. I made my Willow-Tee in it, and like the linen, the white linen bits, because they don't dye, they really show in the sweater. So it's hard to believe that it's only 10% and that it can make such a difference in the drape. Because I mean, if you were knitting with something that was 100% merino, only 10% more merino, it feels completely different. That yarn is really a special yarn. We really like it.
And if you're working with 100% linen, it's a lot harder on your hands when you're knitting it. And this is really super easy on your hands when you're knitting with it. So okay. So do you have any finishes this week?
I do have a finish, but it's not a knitting finish. So
okay, well, you talk about yours. I forgot mine, so I have to go get them.
Okay. So I carried with me to, on my trip to the East Coast, I took with me my English paper piecing and carted it all the way there and all the way back and did not touch it. And I thought, oh, this is going to be such a portable project. I'll get some stitching done. So I'm making English paper piecing flowers, English paper pieced flowers to go into a quilt. And these will be random blocks that are placed in a quilt. I'm not so adventurous that I think I could actually complete an entire quilt in English paper piecing. I realize I cannot in my lifetime. So I packed it up in this bag and I took it with me on the weekend. And before I show you the English paper piece, I want to show you this bag because I got this in Kitchener and I love the saying on this bag. Look at this. This is dating me, I'm sure, but hopefully other people here will realize, and it's surely not everyone was kung fu fighting. I bet some were knitting, and I love this bag. So here is what I got completed. I finished another flower while we were there. Oh, I have some strings. There we go. So I finished one of the flowers, and these flowers, if I haven't shown this before, they will go on a 6.5 inch square. They will be hand stitched, appliqued onto the 6.5 inch square. And then these blocks will be randomly placed in my 9-patch quilt. So it's really lovely. And so I had a lot of fun doing it, and it didn't take that long to do. So I'm glad I finally got something at least accomplished on that, more than I had when I carted it around. But before I leave this bag, I want to show you something else special that I got and because it really was a gifty weekend. Let me tell you the things that we acquired. It's like trick-or-treating and Christmas all rolled into one when you go to this event. People are gifting you lovely, lovely things. So I just wanted to show this. Julia made this. And this is a fun little thing that I saw last year. Ruth and Lindsay, I think Ruth made these and gifted one to Lindsay, and I fell in love. She did send me the PDF pattern on how to make my own. I didn't get around to it, but Julia took care of that. So what this is a little cloth garbage can. So it travels in with your stitching. You could use it for yarn as well. It isn't just for English paper piecing, and it all folds down nice and flat. But what you do is you just pop it out like this, untwist it, and look at that. You have this nice little garbage can. And I have all my yarn bits or my string bits in there from my English paper piecing. And then when you're done,
mine has
yarn bits.
Yarn ends.
Fold it back up and tuck it in your bag. This is like the most ingenious thing. And it's honestly just like a fidget toy too, because I just want to keep playing with it and twisting it. And it's really lovely. So thank you so much, Julia.
Thanks, Julia.
Making these. And normally I had it residing in the beautiful notions pouch that Julia made us on our last trip right here. And so I have this that actually matches it now. So
I know mine matches mine too, but I don't have the other one with me. But yeah, it's perfect.
So Joanna's saying, oh, how cute. I want to make one. Yes. Maybe what we can do is try to find the link, Joanne, for it, and we'll post the link in our show notes. I'm sure Julia can provide that for us, just the link to the pattern, because it's really clever and it's lovely. So there we go.
Okay, so there was a question about the yarn for the tee that I'm wearing. So the yarn is the Loving Path, that's the maker, and the line of the yarn is called Merlin. So it's a fingering weight yarn, 90% merino, 10% linen. So, and I will link her in the show notes, because I believe she's got an Etsy store. I don't know if she's on her own website or if it's Etsy, but I will link her store. So.
Okay. I was going to say I had her card sitting here, but I don't see it right now. Okay.
Okay, so my finished object was inspired by Julia this weekend, and you know that we have our Christmas in July knit along going on. So Julia was making some little candies. So the pattern, pardon me,
bonbons.
Bonbons, yes, but the pattern
Oh
is
no, I
actually
guess they're
called
not. They're
Daffy Taffy.
Yes, that's right.
The pattern is called Daffy Taffy Twist. It's a free pattern on Ravelry by Michelle Bernstein, and I do have a picture of what they look like. So there's kind of what they look like. So they're perfect. You can put them in a little dish. You can. I think they would be perfect. I'm going to put some little gold cords on some of the ones that I've done and put them in the kids' stockings for hanging on Christmas tree. You could use them to top a present. And I was reading in the description or the pattern, she said you could also, like with your filling, put in some lavender with it. So you've got a little sachet.
Oh, very good.
Or if you've got a cat, you could stuff it with catnip. So, and it's perfect to use up your little pieces of yarn ends. I think it takes about 15 yards of yarn, like in a 45 yard mini, you can make 3 of them. So I hadn't done anything yet for the Christmas in July, so I actually finished 2 of them.
Okay.
So these are done in Leo and Roxy Yarns Basic. And I think that color is called Cajun Spice, and this one is called Majestic Purple. And the construction is really neat because you start like with your little flared end, and then you kind of decrease, and then you increase out a couple rows in the middle, decrease down. You go back down to a tight decrease here, and then increase again so that you get your final.
You have to stuff it before you do your decreasing, don't you?
No.
You can still get stuffing
because you've got it. You've got it. I believe that at that point there's 12 stitches around. So you finish the whole thing. Then what you do is you go back and you take a piece of your yarn and you kind of weave it in and out, and then you tighten it up and tie it so that you get it fully closed. Then you stuff, then you do the other end.
Okay, clever.
And close it up. Yeah. Which makes it a lot easier than some things that you have to stitch around the stuffing. So you don't have to stitch around the stuffing.
Okay.
So the only adjustments that I made to the pattern, the Leo and Roxy yarn is quite thin. So the pattern, I believe, calls for a 2.75 millimeter needle. So I used a 2.25, the same as I would use for socks. And then it's, I did a German twisted cast on. And because I did that, I wanted my bind off to match. So I went and researched what was the bind off that matched the German twisted cast on. And it is the Icelandic bind off.
Yes.
And it matches it perfectly. So I did an Icelandic bind off on the other end so that both ends would match. And yeah, they're super cute. I'm going to make more of these. Again, perfect for little scraps that you've got left over. Yeah. And if you've got any cats that you're making Christmas presents for, there you go. But thanks, Julia. And of course, my first one had to be purple in honor of Julia.
Of course. Absolutely. And Tracy said that she knit 2 of them this morning as well.
Yay, Tracy. I know. They were fun. They were really fun. So, yep. So, and again, sometimes you're always looking for little present toppers. So it'd be nice to have something like that. And then if you've got like a little string on it, you can hang it on the tree. So, so those were the only things I finished. They were not on the trip. That was today. So, because I told Julie, I said, I am going to get one done for the podcast, no matter what.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So do you have any whips?
Oh, I do. I have, I've got 3 that I've got on the go.
Okay. I've got 4.
So. Isabel says that she is knitting right now with the Merlin yarn from Loving Path. Yeah. She's knitting the Vasa Tea.
Okay.
Very nice.
Isn't it nice to knit with? Isabel, it's like, it just really does feel really good.
Really
I know I think I have a couple more quantities of it, but
I have one more.
I can do all these summer things, and I'm like, okay, summer's half over. Like,
I know.
Get all these things done.
So. I'm hesitant to cast on another summer sweater. I've got one in mind, but I'm thinking, by the time I get it done, am I going to have a chance to wear it? I hope so. I'm going to cast one on anyway.
Well, we go to Croatia, and it's still going to be warm there, and we don't get home from there until the end of October. So I think I can still get a couple more in because I can take them with me to wear there. So I will try. We'll see. So, and when I feel like starting to feel like knit wintry stuff, then I'll knit it then. So, okay. So whips. Okay. So my first whip is my Floristan socks, which is a pattern by Kuua Coffee. And I do have a picture of what they look like. So these are socks, one of the pair of socks that I'm knitting for Christmas for 2025. So this is pair number 7, and this is July. So I'm on schedule, except we only have 2 days left in July. So I might not be on schedule in 2 days, but right at the moment I'm on schedule. So I do have one sock fully finished. And this is done in moire fibers. And this was, I got it at the Fergus Fiber Festival. This color is called Fire Bricks. It's a 70% superwash merino, 20% bamboo, and 10% nylon. This was 120 gram skein of yarn. So I weighed this sock. This sock weighs 55 grams. The first sock weighs, the first sock weighs 55 grams. So I've got enough left, but I was getting a little bit worried. Now I did increase the length of the leg of the sock because it was only 2 repeats of it's a 24 pattern repeat. So it would have only taken me down to here. And I thought, well, that's not long enough. And even doing the 3 repeats, I had Ross try it on, and it's not one of his longer socks. Like it's could have still been longer, but I don't know that I would have had enough yarn to do another repeat. And I'm thinking all this cabling not only takes in this way, it also is taking in this way, because that's definitely more than I would normally knit for the leg of a sock. And then you can see that the pattern continues, or like part of the rib pattern continues right into the heel flap. And then it continues right into the toe of the sock.
And didn't you say it's an 80 stitch sock?
It's 88.
88 stitches. Yes. So definitely eating up the yarn.
It is. So the stitches around here are 88 stitches. But then when I got down to here and did the heel flap, I decreased in the gusset down to 36 stitches across the bottom of the stock for the stockingette, but still had the 44 stitches across the front. So when you get to do the toe, I believe that they said you were only supposed to go down to 38 on the sole, but I know that 36 would work better for Ross. So you move stitches a little bit when you start your decreases down at the toe. So I changed the decrease rate just slightly, but yeah, I've memorized the pattern, but it's still slow going because every second row is a cable row.
Right.
So, but yeah, but it's, I do really like it. He tried it on, and I actually had some pictures. I'll show you next week. I actually had some pictures, but I forgot to put them in here, but it fits his foot really nicely. But I kept getting to try it on because I normally go by the number of rows that I knit. But because this is the gauge is different, I had to get him to keep trying it on to make sure that I was going to do the toe at the right place. So, okay.
Well, I will show the sock that I've been working on. I guess I didn't bring my sock blocker down either. Unless it's in here. No, it's not. Okay. Well, I'll just try to pull it out. So this is yarn that I'm working on from, oh, hey, before I show that, last week I talked about this really cute tape measure that I got at Lavie in Rimouski when I went to visit Poole, and I couldn't find the tape measure. Well, the tape measure was in this bag all along, so now I will show it. It says Lavie. It's very, very cute, and it's almost like a pale pink leather. It just comes out, and you push on it to drop it back in. It's very cute. So I've got that in that bag. Okay, so I am working on, I have a banner, the Nord socks by Nancy Wheeler, and I'm making these for Mike. And so I got the leg finished. I did the heel flap and gusset on the weekend, and I'm well into the foot. This is what I have done. Really happy with them. And now you've got me concerned. I wonder if I should be, oh no, I've got lots of yarn left.
Yeah, you've got, well, that's, I think that you don't have 88 stitches around though.
No, but I have 72. And so it's a really lovely pattern. This is so I'm using Yarn Indulgences, Deborah's yarn, the Stomp sock. And I don't have the banner with me, so I can't remember the name, but this is a skein that Carrie gifted me from Knit City, Montreal. And
was it Summer Storm?
I thought that was
or
mine.
Was that yours?
That was mine. And this one, she thought it was the same one that I had. It's something else. I believe it starts with a B. I will show the ball band when they're finished for sure. But anyway, this is a really lovely pattern. I just want to show you.
It is.
It's not really a cable. It's more of a braid. It's not tricky to do though. It's like a 4-stitch repeat that Nancy shows you in her pattern. And then it has her traditional heel flap and gusset, but there's also a nice little detail down the back of the sock so that you get a little bit of a view when he's walking away from you too. So there we go. Yep. But this is gorgeous yarn. And like I said, it's really plump, and I love the colors in here. So there's some greens and blues, and I think he'll be really happy with these socks.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay, I just had a question here about stitches for a 4-year-old socks. I would probably, for a 4-year-old, cast on 48. Mm-hmm. So if it's a fingering weight sock, I would cast on 48. And that depends. If they have a really chunky leg, you might want to go to a 52. Yeah. But like I knit tight saying that. So that's why I would maybe go up to a 52. Yeah. But I think you're probably good with a 48 for a 4-year-old. Mm-hmm. So. Okay. So my next whip is my Fiorellino by Isabel Kramer. So I'll just show you a picture. So this is a sweater. I believe that this one came out for Knit City Montreal. And she showcased it in her, was the yarn called
Fiorellino?
Fiorellino. So it's a linen cotton blend, but I am actually doing mine in a silk yarn. So this is the Knitting Loft. This is their Swish. And it is a fingering weight yarn that is 100% silk. So there's 180 meters in 50 grams. And this is where I am. So I've actually, I mean, the whole yoke's done. It's separated. And I am actually started, there's a little bit of detail around the bottom of the sweater before you do the rib. So I've actually started that. And then I've only got about another 1.25 inches, and then that's done. And then the sleeves are just short sleeves. So this is my fourth skein. This is my fourth skein. The color is called Sapphire. And I mean, I'll definitely be using it all, but you could almost knit this at a little bit bigger gauge than what I'm knitting it at. I believe that this is, it's either 23 or 24 stitches, but it's quite a substantial silk. Like it's definitely got more weight to it than the Knitting for Olive pure silk.
Do you think you're going to have enough yarn, or are you going to be running tight?
Yeah, no, because I've got only a little bit left of that, but I've only got about 1.25 inches left of the bottom, and then the sleeves are barely pick up, do a few rounds and do the rib.
Okay.
So I will have lots of yarn, but yeah, so really like it. The pattern up here was really fun to do. Isabel Kramer writes a good pattern. So this is the smallest size in the sweater. And it does have some short rows at the back before you go into the pattern, but it is also one where after you do the rounded yoke, you've got some raglan increases before you separate for the sleeves. So I always find that that's a really nice fitting sweater.
Yeah, it almost reminds me like of a basket weave pattern up there.
Yeah,
it's on camera, really that's the way it looks.
Yeah. I forget what she calls it, a star stitch maybe, but it's a really cool stitch up at the top, and just a couple of different textures in it. So it makes it interesting to get through the yoke. And then the train is a good place to knit round and round for your stockinette stitch. So,
yes, it is.
And then it's nice now because I'm back into a little bit of pattern at the bottom. And I believe that the sleeves have a little bit of pattern before you do the rib on them too. So hopefully that will be finished by next week.
Okay, Rosie says that lino means linen in Italian, by the way, too.
Okay.
And Dream Bell is also making the Fiorellino.
Okay. Oh, and this linen quill, that would be nice.
Yeah, the linen quill. That would be a good use of that one, too. So
yeah, that stitch is really neat. It would be kind of neat to do a sock and put it around the leg of a sock. I might have to think about that.
Yeah. Barb made a comment here, too. Thank you about the stitch count for the socks, because she's making them for her granddaughter who's going to an outdoor preschool.
Okay.
And that just reminds me, when Miles started outdoor school last year, Kendall called me up and she said, well, Miles has merino socks on his list of things that he needs to bring for outdoor school, because they are outdoors day in, day out, whatever the weather might be. So yes, you'll definitely need some hand knitted socks.
Okay.
What else do I have? Actually, Oh no, that's the one I already showed. I was going to say, I think I have 4 projects, but no, there's only 3. So the other one that I worked on this weekend, I have a new cast on too, but this is the one that I worked on a little bit in the weekend. So I've split for the sleeves, and this is the Staffen Light by Rebecca Clow. And I have a picture here of Rebecca wearing hers, just so you can see what the sweater is like once it's all blocked out. And I am using, hang on, I'll show you the sweater first, and then I'll talk about the yarn that I'm using. Make sure I show you the right way. So I've split for the sleeves, and I am down into the body on this, and I'm really happy with it. Yeah, and somebody did tell me on the weekend that they'd been watching the podcast, and they said it comes out much brighter on camera. So, I mean, on my camera here, what I see, it looks fairly close, but it is a pretty soft, buttery yellow. And I'm really, whoops, there go a whole bunch of stitches. And that, my friends, is why you put stitch markers on. It's okay. It's just easy. No, it's not. It's my knit pearl and my diamonds. All right. Hang on. Let me anchor what I have. And you know what? The ridiculous thing is, I'm pretty sure my stitch markers are laying at the bottom of this bag. Let me just got 2 more to pick up here. There we go.
I know, it's like they're always, yeah.
And hey,
I have mine in the bag too. And like you step on the yarn and it's like, why did I not have those stitch markers?
I just so happen to have that. I was gifted at the Makers Meetup. A lot of people brought these cute little baggies with super fun stitch markers.
Those are cute.
So I got these cute little balloons, and I will just pop those on. So I was going to show those later as an acquisition. And it also came with some Dove chocolates.
Yep.
And I believe that it was Ruth. And is it Ruth that lives near the Dove factory? And the whole town smells like chocolate chip cookies? Anyway, what a dream. What a dream that would be. Anyway. Okay, so here we go. Here's the sweater again. And it's a really pretty pattern. It's a 36 row repeat. And then, so now that I'm down into the body, I can basically look at what I did before ahead of it and just keep knitting. I don't really need a pattern. And so the yarn that I'm using, this is a new to me yarn. It is Alice by Durarum Natura. And I have a ball band here. And it is 75% merino wool and 25% linen. Now in this colorway, so this is the spelling of it. And I'm just looking for where you can see Durarum Natura is covered up. Sorry, you'll have to look it up in my Ravelry page. Oh no, here it is on the price label. Okay, and the color is Primavera. So I got this at Lovey Lund when I was in Rimouski, and I cast it on right away the next day because I was just in love. So this color does not show the linen as much as some of the other colors, just because this is such a light yellow. So you barely can see it, but like when you're knitting with it, you can definitely see like the little linen flaxy bits that are in there.
Yep.
Very, very nice. And this is, it is a fingering weight yarn, but I am knitting it at a sport gauge on 4mm needles. And I didn't quite get gauge. I was just a little shy at 22 stitches, and what I needed to get was 20. So I would have made a size 4. I went up to a size 5, did the sweater math, and it's going to work out. So yeah, it's really beautiful though. I'm anxious to get this one done. I just bought when I went into my appointment yesterday. I've been looking for one of these, the perfect long, gorgeous oatmeal colored summer linen skirt, just a really nice plain basic skirt, and I think it will look really good with this butter yellow. Yeah. So that is what I worked on a little bit on the weekend too.
Okay, so my next whip is the Froze Shorties by Nancy Wheeler, and I do have a picture of what they look like. So I think these were released not that long ago, beginning of the summer, maybe. So these are what I took. I worked with I started it last week, but last week I barely had anything done. So I have actually finished one sock. Okay, just a minute here and dropping things on the floor. Okay. So here's the first sock. So I did mine a little different. She kind of had a stripe around here, but I just did mine with the solid toe, the solid heel, And then I just did the contrast color up for the little ruffle around the top. So these are a fingering weight sock, and they come in 56, 64, and 72 stitches. So 64 is a little big for me. So I adjusted the pattern so that I could do them at a 60 stitch. So it meant like in some of this detail here, I just had to like, maybe instead of 2 stitches at the beginning, no, instead of 3, it was 2, just to cut down those number of stitches. So it is toe up. So you do start with the Judy's Magic Cast On, which I had to look up for this one, but I've got the second one. I've started the second one. I didn't have to look it up for that one. I actually could do it. So I think if I did it often enough, I would remember it. So the yarn that I'm using is Arctic Crafts, and this is a Poledale sock. And I looked it up, and it is 40% Polworth, 40% Corriedale, and 20% nylon. And this came in a set that was 50 grams of your main yarn and 20 grams of your contrast color. And this colorway is called Harvest Moon, but it's really pretty. Nice. And these speckles are really, really nicely dyed in it. So in this pattern, okay, so you can see that it's a heel flap and gusset, but your gusset, like my gusset starts like right down there. So there is a formula in the pattern, and I was a little bit worried, but trust it because it worked out perfectly. And so I am actually at the point here, which you wouldn't think, but I am at the point here where I have to start my gusset increases. Like it looks so tiny, thinking, no way if I start it there, is it going to be, but it worked out perfectly. This sock fits me perfectly. So if you have to, once you've gone so far, you have to figure out your row gauge. Your row gauge is important. And then there's just a little calculation that you have to do. And she tells you at what point you have to start your increases for the gusset going this way. But yeah, because I don't do toe up all that often because I'm always worried that they're not going to fit. Because it's harder to figure out where you're going to put your heel. It's probably easier if you're doing a cut in heel to know where to put it. But when you're doing like gusset increases, it's a little bit harder. But this sock fits perfectly. So I really like it. It's fun to knit. The pattern is easily memorizable. I'm going to have more than enough yarn with the 50 gram mini and the 50 gram main and the 20 gram mini. So again, Nancy's patterns are great. Like she's got lots of good details in them. She's got lots of tutorials that are linked to her. Like there's a tutorial to show you how to do the little ruffle at the top of the sock. So just fun knitting. So I might even see if I can scale that down some more. I think that they'd be cute little ankle socks for the granddaughters. So
yeah, they would be very cute.
Yeah, especially with that little ruffle. So
okay. So then the next project that I have was a new cast on the weekend, and it is living in this very cute bag that Amy gifted us on the weekend from her shop that is her local shop, which is Darn Knit Anyway. And these are really nice bags by Della Q, and they're like a mesh style, like a mesh nylon, really, really, really sturdy. They have a zipper pocket in the front that you could throw notions or your phone or your keys in the front, so it's not getting all jumbled in with the knitting. And then the great idea is it has the snaps on the top, so that if you were doing something, you can feed your yarn up through the snaps and everything stays in the bag. And I really like it. So thank you to Amy for bringing these along.
Very nice bag. Yeah,
they're really nice. I think if I were making the bag, the only addition I could think of to make to this bag is that it would have a little bit of a handle, something to grab onto. So I don't know if Della Q is listening. It's the only thing I could think to add. It's a really great bag though. So in it, I have other all new things and casting on a new pattern. And so on the put and take table, there were some beautiful yarns, and I saw this skein. It grabbed my eye. I don't know if it's going to show up as much when it's wound as it did in the skein, but it's like pink and orange. Can you see that it's like creamsicle color? I don't know if that's really picking up on camera or not. I hope it is. It's really, really beautiful. Maybe there you can see the pinks and oranges a little bit better. And it is, the yarn is by 100 Ravens, and it is called Patos, which might be the brand of the yarn, not necessarily the color.
Okay.
Oh, it is. It's not the color. The color is Wassail. So maybe this was a Christmas skein. I'm not sure, but it's a little bit on the thinner side for fingering because there are 463 yards, but it is a 75-25. So when you do knit it, it's still knitting up plenty plump. So I picked this up off there, and I had a pattern that was gifted to me by Darcy of Chit Chat Knits. And it's a pattern that she just released, and it's called the Picnic Basket Socks. So I will put that up. And I don't think I put in a picture of the finished socks, so you'll just have to see what I've done. Then it needed a contrast color. So when we went to Wool & Co., I picked up this for a contrast color.
That looks good.
And this is Hedgehog Fiber Sock Minis. So I picked this up, and this one is the colorway Cedar. But somehow it just reminds me of like a mermaid oceany color. And I really like the way these two play together, really, really vibrant. So I cast on her socks, and I'll show you what I have done so far. I've got the cuff done. There's a little bit of color work up at the top of the sock. And then again, just a tiny bit of color work down at the toe. So let me get my ends tucked in there so you can see it a little bit nicer. So there we go.
Oh, very cute.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty little bit of color work, and then it has sort of this basket stitch that I thought that your sweater reminded me of. And this yarn is really doing the pattern justice, I think. It looks really nice. I don't have a lot done on them yet, but I did the cuff there on the weekend. And then last night, while I sat down for a little bit, I just quickly did that color work. It's only
pretty.
6 rows of color work, and then you're into the basket stitch. Very memorizable, easy to do, and it's a fun little pattern. So if you're looking for, and I think it's really summery, well, picnic basket, I guess it is a summer pattern, but I also I don't know, there's something about it I love these colors. So if you're looking for a quick little sock project, this would be a good pair of socks. And thank you, Darcy, for gifting me the pattern.
Very cute. Yeah. Okay, so my last whip is a new cast on. So it is the Florence sweater by Eleanor Mortensen, and I do have a picture. So this is a new colorwork sweater that she's released, and her samples were done with Junction Fiber Mills Making Tracks Light. So that is what I'm using for the contrast, but for the main color, I'm actually using Cascade 220 Sport. So the yarns that I'm using, and I have got mine in this new bag that we got this weekend. So this was a bag that Sandy made, and actually made these to give out at the meetup. So it's an absolutely beautiful bag. It's got a nice little tassel on it to be able to open and pull, easily open and close the zipper. She's got like a holographic zipper on it that's all different colors.
So pretty.
And the bag's got a pocket on the inside, which is actually even color coordinated with, I can't show you because I'd have to turn my whole project over. All my stuff would fall out, but absolutely beautiful.
I can show you on mine. I got one as well, so I'll show you later.
Okay. So my colors that I'm using, the main yarn is this Cascade Yarns 220 Sport. It is, let's see here, I believe it's 100% Highland wool. It is a non-superwash yarn. It's 22 to 24 stitches equals 4 inches, and it's worked on a 3.75 to a 4 millimeter needle. Comes in 50 gram skeins. This color is called Walnut Heather. So that's the main. And then my contrast color is the Making Tracks Light by Junction Fiber Mills. And this colorway is called Zinnia. And it's so pretty. It's just like it's got like mauvey purples and pinks and peaches and corals and just absolutely gorgeous. And so I hand wound one of each. Actually, we went to the shop, we went to Wool & Co., did the purchase. On our way to lunch, I hand wound a ball of each. And then I did get the sweater started, but I haven't done anything else since I got home from the meetup because I have too many other things that I need to get finished up. But I do have the sweater started. So I've got the neckband done, which is like a little bit of a rolled edge, and then your rib, and then there's short rows. And then I've just got the pattern started. And actually that very first color there was the only color that I was worried about in the whole color palette of this skein, was the only color that I was worried about not showing up. And there's plenty of contrast.
Plenty of contrast. Yeah.
Yeah. Shows up fine. So yeah, so I will probably do a little bit on it more by next week, but I'm not going to rush too much on it because obviously it's way too warm to wear it. But this Superwash Sport feels absolutely amazing. I had never worked with it before. I have worked with the Cascade 220, but this feels much softer.
Yes, it is. And Sport Weight is like my favorite yarn to work with. Anyway. So there's a group of them that are doing this sweater as their Rhinebeck sweater. James, Carol, and Amy are doing it. And I'm not sure who else is in that group, but they badgered us and said, oh, let's do it. And I was holding firm, but I caved too. So since we're talking about it, I might as well show you my colors. Okay. And here's my colors.
Anyway,
so I'm also,
I did do a little bit of, so you can see up at the top here, you do have quite a distance between the stitches. So I did do ladder back jacquard, and I will put that on every once in a while if it gets to be that there's too much stitches, because I don't want to have to catch it. I don't want it to show through. So the ladder back jacquard is easy enough to do. So,
so I am also using the Cascade Sport, and this is my color. So I'm going with a darker color. I don't know if these have names. I think they're just,
have to look it up online though.
Yeah, I don't think it's listed on the label. So I have the dark purple, and then I have, this is funny, this is Junction Making Tracks Light, and I'm using the color Alpenglow, which coincidentally is the name of a sweater that I finished not too long ago. But these are the colors that I'll be using. So it's kind of a turquoisey, peachy color in with this dark purple, and I really like that. So economical.
Yeah,
this yarn,
I know, it's amazing,
ridiculously priced, and I'm looking forward to using it. It does feel very, very soft.
Yeah. And when you get a yarn like that for your base, then it's kind of like, it makes your sweater a lot more economical, and then you can maybe get a couple of other skeins of either Junction
fiber
kind of
mills
takes the pain
cycle. Yeah, it takes the pain out of these skeins here.
Yeah,
right, when you can get a really economical
also
base.
Makes the most of your special skein.
That's
but
right.
You know, there's a lot of other like more budget-friendly yarns that are absolutely beautiful yarns. So
yeah.
And again, I can definitely see from the feel of that I would like to use that yarn again. And it comes in a beautiful array of colors.
It does. It really does.
You know, like I think it would be perfect for a colorwork sweater on its own. Okay, so that's all I worked on. Oh, well, I did do some spinning when I got home. I spun about 25 grams of yarn, or 25 grams of fleece yesterday. So I've got actually more than that. I've got a little bit more to spin, and I'll be finished the second half of that 100-gram fleece. So I will have that done by next week.
Yeah. So I actually do have one other whip, and I forgot about it because it's sitting right in front of me. So are you done with the Florence? Yep. Yeah. Okay. So this one is, this was for my Christmas in July project. And this was the Rudolph Crochet Gnome by Maria Ermolova. And the book is too far for me to reach. So you'll just have to go from memory or look up last week's episode where I showed a picture of him. So the ongoing saga of Rudolph the reindeer is that I completely misread the pattern and didn't pick up on all of the extra rows. So I had him done to this point. I had to frog him all the way back to this point right here and then start again. And if you'll recall, when I showed, I think before the frogging, or I don't know if I showed a picture or not, but his body was like literally this long and his beard would be bigger than that. So that's when I clued in. Even after I had him stuffed, this is not right. He was very short and extremely wide, not looking like the picture. So I have redone him, and he is now once again on a stall this close to being done, because there we go, friends. That's why.
Oh no.
So I'm thinking,
where did you get it originally, the yarn?
Little Red Mitten. So I'm going to stop, I think, on my way home from Toronto on Thursday and pick up more yarn. So I will not be completing my Christmas in July. Wah, wah. but he's the size of a bowling pin. That's the back of him.
He is big.
He is 10 inches. He is 10 inches tall. And so
that must be a whole bag of stuffing in there.
There's a lot of stuffing in him. So I think basically what I will do too is I picked up some nice flat rocks for painting when I was in Nova Scotia. And so it's fun the way they do this. Can you see this like extra little ridge here? So you will join on and do like a row of crochet that kind of creates a stand. But what I'm going to do also is place one of my flat rocks in him, and then I will do a little bit of stuffing underneath. And I did that for my Nana gnomes too. I went out and I got some flat rocks and put in them just because I really think he's going to need it because, he's big. Again, he's big. So he's not like,
you could do like 10 of them. Then you could have it set up like you could have bowling gnomes.
I could bowl them over. You're right. Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe Miles might enjoy that. I don't know if I'll do 10. That's a lot of cotton. I'm telling you. So
that's a lot of, yeah.
And it's a lot of crocheting too. So anyway, it's a really well-written pattern. That was totally on me to blow by those repeat rows, completely on me. I accept full responsibility. But her pattern is really well written. And that book, I did get it on Amazon. I've not seen it at a knit store. And it was recommended to me by Darlene, one of my West Coast friends, and she made the Santa. So I thought Rudolph was pretty cute. So also I wanted to make, there was a Frosty the Snowman gnome in there as well. So I will also be picking up some additional skeins of yarn while I'm at the Little Red Mitten, because now having made him, I kind of get that these tiny little 25-gram balls are not going to do it, especially on crochet.
You better check out the snowman size before.
I'm assuming they're all the same size. It's just there was no point.
You could do bowling pins like one of each.
I know there was no point. I think there's 15 gnomes in there too. There's no point.
A 10 pin and a 5 pin lane.
That's right. Yeah. So So I'll pick up some more yarn, and I don't know if I'll take him with me when I go out west, just because, now he's kind of a deal to carry around. He's sort of big, which is a little bit sad because I really wanted to finish him. But the antlers are also made in this dark brown. So I need more no matter what.
That's why you need, yeah.
Yeah. I did pick up the red while I was at Lovey Len to do his red button, his red nose, Rudolph's red nose. And I thought, then, I've got everything I need now. But no, I don't. So I'm going to pick up some more skeins on my way home from Toronto. So he will not be finished in July, unfortunately.
Okay. That's it for anything I've been working on.
Yeah, same.
So, okay.
Okay, just a moment. There's a couple of questions. Linda wants to know if I could put a black bottom on him. It wouldn't be seen. You're right, Linda, it wouldn't, but I still need to do antlers anyway, and they were in the dark brown. So and Nikki says that she also used a flat rock in her Nana gnome, and she says that Nana has yet to fall down. So there you go. Netta May uses fishing line sinkers and weights to weigh down her gnomes and animals. They're smooth. Yeah. I
used the little whatever the little beads were, but I found that because they are little, you kind of have to put them into like
a pouch.
Well, not even a pouch, but they kind of go in between layers of the stuffing. So I put a layer of them at the bottom, but then put the stuffing on, like the polyfill underneath it.
I did that even with my rock. Yeah, I did do that with the rock. I still put a little bit, just mostly because I thought, well, I wouldn't want somebody, especially with the size of him, somebody might like plunk him down and then you'd hear the rock smack off the table.
Like I'm thinking about grandchildren throwing them at each other.
Yeah, or that. Yes. So anyway, yeah, it was fun. It was fun to work on though. It's fun to, do something a little different once in a while too. Barb is asking for the best bind off for a twisted rib cuff.
I always do that one that I do all the time now. If it's a 1x1, I do that alternating cable bind off where you have to kind of bring your yarn around the back of the. So I've used that. And I've also used the Italian sewn. Yep, I've also done Italian sewn bind off with a ribbed cuff.
Yeah, I don't think that I wouldn't necessarily say that the ribbing makes the ribbed cuff, twisted rib. I don't think it makes a difference between a regular rib. So I don't treat it any differently when I'm doing a bind off. Yeah. So. Okay.
Okay, and actually, you could do that Icelandic bind off too if you're matching it to. If you had a like an old Norwegian cast on or a German cast on, you could do that for your bind off as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Christina is suggesting Lori's twisty bind off, which
yeah, I think that's similar to the one that I do. Yeah. Yep. So
okay.
Okay, so I think we have a few things to show.
We do, I think.
Okay. We've showed some already throughout the. But okay. You go ahead.
I'll start then. There was only one other thing that I got at Wool & Co. I was very reserved. And so our friends, Sue and Tracy, were there and they were looking for yarn. This is new to me, sock yarn. It's the Assayer yarn, the Assayer sock yarn. And it is 40% easy wash alpaca, 40% easy wash merino wool. I don't know if 40% easy wash translates to super wash. I wouldn't. I will hand wash these. And then 20% nylon for your structure. But that little bit of alpaca in there, well, not little, it's 40% alpaca, makes this like the most beautiful squishy yarn. These skeins were, I believe, $10-ish US. And so I plan to do a stripy pair of socks with these.
Yeah, it does. It feels amazing.
It feels really, really good.
In these colors. And it does feel amazing. And I'm not sure, it does say machine wash, but on the wool cycle or hand wash.
Yeah, so I would hand wash. If there's alpaca, I'm hand washing, friends, only because, well, just don't ask me how I know that I'm going to hand wash alpaca. Okay. And Diane says that she's knitting with this yarn right now as she watches, and she absolutely loves it. So that's, that's a resounding, that's amazing. A good review too.
And it's, there's 193 meters in a 50-gram ball. Mm-hmm. So it feels substantial.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to using it.
They had gorgeous colors and it was hard to choose.
It was. And unfortunately,
and they didn't have it out.
They didn't have it out. This one you had to go on the computer. So you're trying to choose colors that went together. Actually, I don't even think the name is on here again. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry. This one is fawn, if anybody's just wondering. And this one is deep rose. And they do really go nicely together. So,
yeah, and mine are the deep rose and buttercream.
Buttercream. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know, because I was looking afterwards at the site and they had that Lion brand, that Rewind, to do those crochet bags, but just not on the floor.
See, how'd I know? And I would have grabbed
them. I would have gotten some more of that to do that anyway. Mm-hmm. Didn't know that. I mean, because I guess I didn't really look at the website before. I just assumed that even though I knew they had a lot in stock, I thought it would be stock of things that they had on the floor.
Right, right. And I'm just thinking back when you mentioned the bag. So the crocheted bag that I did, the market tote bag that I did this summer that I have taken everywhere with me, I'm just revisiting in my head how good that bag is also going to look with that cream linen skirt and that buttercream sweater that I'm finishing. Like, it's just going to be one more thing to cart that bag around with. That is like my make of the summer that I'm thrilled with. That is like my best summer thing. Okay. All right. So other things that I got. So I got some finishes from there as well, like things that you don't have to make, but you get the pleasure of wearing are always a win-win. And so I'll show off 2 pairs of socks, firstly, that Amy very generously gifted me. I don't know the yarns or their names, so don't ask, but they're so pretty. Like, these are the most gorgeous summer shorties. And she makes these on her sock machine. And then these ones, this one I do know is the, it was a skein that is the colors of the Illinois state flag. So it's the turquoise and there's little pops of orange in there as well. And then she has rimmed them with teal. So I don't know how she does these on a sock machine. Like, this is not just a standard tube. She is doing them from start to finish. And this is one of my all-time favorite patterns. As you know, I've actually knit 4 pairs of them myself, of this heel tab shorty by do you remember?
Nope.
Nope. It's left my head. Something about forest. Anyway, you can look on my Ravelry page. Lisa Gregorin. Sorry, there it is.
Okay.
I knew it would come, but she has another name too. And I absolutely love this pattern because that heel tab is great if you wear like the runners in the summer.
Yeah.
These stay up, they stay in place. And I don't know why or how, but I have worn other socks, or I've even had sock tubes cranked for myself using the smaller stitch. They're still a little bit loose on my foot. Amy's socks are not. She gifted us a pair last year, and they are the perfect fit for my narrowish 8.5 foot. And I really love them. So she was very kind to give me, and these are not as fluorescent as they look on camera. I can tell you that. But they're really, really beautiful. Okay, so she's saying it's the Chicago flag from Yarnify. What's this color? Yeah, it's really, really pretty. She does just a great job on
amazing work. Yeah,
sock machine. I'm so thankful to have 2 more pairs of them. Okay. That's funny. Gwen said last week while traveling with grandchildren, one was looking through her knitting organizer and she saw her Kelly's toe recipe. He's 13 and he asked me what I was going to do with Kelly's toes, and we all laughed. That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Do you want to show something?
Sure. They had the put and take table there. So I have never worked with this yarn before, and I couldn't believe that it was there. But they had some Brooklyn tweed. I have never used any Brooklyn tweed yarn. So they had some Brooklyn tweed loft. Let me just grab it. Oh. So there was 2 skeins of this wood smoke. No, sorry, soot. 2 skeins of soot. So this is the loft, and then 2 skeins of wood smoke. So I am going to put them together and do something striped, but I'm probably going to add a pop of some brighter color in just for like around the neck or the armbands or whatever. But this feels amazing. I'd always thought about trying it, but I just never did. Like this is the loft I believe it's, let's see. So, it's Targhee. So it's 100% Targhee. There's 275 yards in 50 grams. So it's a fingering weight, hand wash only. So it is a non-superwash yarn, but it just feels, it's so squishy and lofty. So I'm really looking forward to that because I know they don't make this anymore. So I get a chance to try it out. So I was really happy to find that. So.
Okay. The next thing that I got was at the put and take table as well. And I couldn't believe that this was there. I picked it up because I told you that there were some garments there as well. And this shawl was there, and I'll show you the shawl, get it lined up the right way. I don't know if I can show it like it's in its entirety. I got to use it on the way home. The train was so cold. I definitely got to use it on the way home.
The train was cold.
Can you see this, everybody, how gorgeous this is? So this is actually, these are all my colors, like absolutely all my colors. And this is actually, I'll do it that way and I'll talk about it. So it is the 70 shawl by Maxim Cyr. I have a banner for it. And I spelt Maxim wrong. I see that now as soon as it come up on the screen. Sorry about that, Max. But anyway, so as soon as I saw this, Julia was with me and I'm like, oh, Julia, oh my gosh. And it feels amazing. I can't tell you how beautifully soft this is. So I said, like, I don't know, should I take it? You feel kind of bad taking it, but if somebody's put it there, they want somebody else to love it. And let me tell you, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I should show you too, like how gorgeous the floats are on this. Like this is an amazing knitter. So I thought I've got to wander around the room and find out who brought this in and thank them personally. So I wandered around and it was actually Annetta that had knit it. And she said that she knit this as a test knit for Max. And it is Mayak medium. It is unbelievably soft and gorgeous. And I said to her, oh my goodness, how could you have ever parted with this? And she said, well, it just, wasn't my colors or something. But I'm like, well, it is my colors and I will wear this gratefully. And it's absolutely beautiful. So it's
and it
gorgeous
feels
pattern.
amazing. That Mayak medium feels amazing.
And I even love, I especially love this pretty little detail down the side, like how he garters in that color at the end of the rose and then a beautiful I-cord finish. This is really just beautiful. And I'm very grateful to have it. So, okay.
Okay, so again, on the put and take table.
We like shopping at the put and take table.
I got this skein. So this is...
Oh, that's pretty. I didn't see that one.
Murky Depths Dye Works. This is their deep sock. So it is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. And I can't understand what the colorway is. I can't understand the writing. But anyway, this is what it looks like. But I thought, I'm always looking, and I think it's got the oranges and stuff in it. I think it would be perfect for a man's sock, because I'm always looking for some different ones that, they've still got some darker colors, but then you get this little pop of orange, and Ross loves orange. So I think that'll make a nice pair of socks for him. And it does feel really nice. It feels like it's got a really nice twist on it as well. I got that one.
That was a yarn that used to be sold at Elgin Knitworks.
Wasn't
it?
No, that was
Direful, yes, but I thought that was there too. Maybe not.
They had this at the Perfect Blend in.
Oh, okay. I knew I had seen it hanging on a wall somewhere. Okay.
Okay, and then this is another one that I got.
Oh, very nice.
This one is a Miss Babs yarn. This is her Yummy 3-ply Sport. So it's 100% merino, and this colorway is called Zombie Reunion. But I thought that would make like a really nice cowl or like one skein kind of shawl. It's kind of it's like navy, but it's got like burgundy and like hints of green and just really pretty moody type color. So, and it does feel really nice and squishy. So, and then the other thing, I didn't find this at the put and take table, but somebody brought it over to me. And this is Lang yarn, but it is called Noelle, and it's spelt the same as mine. So it is so soft, great color, and that's going to make like the perfect little either Sophie scarf or one of those little neck scarves. And I believe I don't even know what the yarn composition is. I can't see it on here. I don't think it's wool, but it feels so soft, and it's got a little bit of a halo on it. So yeah, so that had to come home with me too. So
very nice. Okay. I also got this there. I'll show you these 3 skeins and then I will talk about it. This was Penny's yarn, and this is plastic. Sorry, this is a worsted weight yarn called Nirvana. It's 92% merino, 8% cashmere, and then it is a 5-ply worsted weight yarn. So it is.
That's pretty.
I believe it's woolen spun. It's a gorgeous color. The color is lilac, and just stunning. I do not have very much worsted in my stash at all. And this is a local dyer to her, Sunday Knits. And she made a sweater with it, holding it with some mohair. So she was quite happy that it would be coming home with me to make a project out of too. It's really soft, so soft. That cashmere makes all the difference.
Okay, so this, and I also got the bag from Amy, which again, I think is amazing. Like, it's got a front zippered pouch as well as the main pouch, which I like the main pouch without the zippers, because if you've got your yarn in there, you don't have to worry about
you don't want to put other things in. Yes.
And in here, you could stick your phone, you could stick whatever.
That's great. I like having something to separate that.
Yeah. So, okay.
And then, I also got this. It's a Nomadic Knits book from Iowa, Nebraska. And there are beautiful patterns in it as well, but there's also beautiful photography. And there's a lot of storytelling in the book as well. So it's more than just a pattern book, but it has, like lots of storytelling and some actually beautiful patterns as well. It's a few people that have gotten together to do the patterns, but they talk a lot about the state as well. So it's a really nice book to do a little bit of reading. And again, I said it has some gorgeous patterns. There's a couple of pairs of socks in here, beautiful shawl, but the socks I really liked. And a lot of I like reading things like this, like a lot of history about the state and looking at old photos and things like that. So I'm always kind of really keen to do that. And then I've got Sandy's bag here. We talked about it earlier. So mine doesn't have a project in it yet. So I will show mine and all of the good things that Noelle mentioned as well. But I have goodies inside of it, but I'll show
Yeah, I
take
still
them
have
out
goodies
so
inside
that you
mine
can
too.
see the zipper. That's falling out. Okay, so here we go. Oops, there's still more. So they put little goodies in it when they handed it out, but everybody who attended got one of these. And then you can see it's a zippered and actually a zippered pocket that she has inside of there. Really lovely. Like her, and the bottom is vinyl too, which I always like vinyl on the bottom of a bag because you can wipe that clean. And, our bags end up in some fairly dirty places when you think about coffee shops and trains in our case, sitting on trains or planes. And this one is lined with like a really soft denim. Very, very nice. I love Sandy's bags. I just really do.
They had these little cards in there too, like little blank note cards that you can send to your knitter friends.
Yes.
And this little bottle of little light bulb stitch markers, which I thought was really cute, and just a little, because you always need these wherever you go.
Yeah. And these cards are all handmade, by the way.
Yeah, they're cute. Very cute.
A lot of work somebody put into these.
And there's my little chocolates and my hot air balloon stitch markers. So, and then another.
Did you show these? We got these when we got to the.
I forgot to pick one of those up. I know they were on the table, and I forgot to pick one up. But then Carol had given us these, and these are little. They're little stoppers, but some of the ones that she's got are like a lot of these. That's right. A lot of these size ones are almost too big for some of the size needles that I use. So these ones are just like have tiny little holes in them. It's a little smiley face. So there's all different sizes of those. There's a little keychain in here. So the little mushrooms are adorable. And these are all just little stitch stoppers, really, but you can put them on the end of a very tiny needle. So like your sock needles, because the other ones are kind of big for the sock needles.
Yeah. All kinds of goodies. And there's lots of pairs in there. There's got to be like 8 or 9 pairs in there. So.
So
I love these tiny jars. We also got the cutest ever knitted hats.
Yeah, mine's right here.
I have to find a little critter.
Yeah.
Maybe actually. Here.
I tried to fit it on the possum, but the possum's ears were too big.
Oh, it fits on my little mouse perfectly. There you go.
There you go. Okay.
Isn't that cute?
Perfect. Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, they were very cute.
Yes.
And then I got this little stitch marker.
Yeah, I've got one of these too.
Lemon, and that was from Kathy and Dawn.
Their friend made that.
Yeah, their friend is Every Stitch Counts, and she makes the little progress keepers. So
and I got a tomato. Cute. Whoops, hold still tomato for my garden. Very cute. I also got. I'm really stoked about this. This is a little box of
the cards.
Oops. And they are camping doodle card deck. So what this is it's a mix and match. So it's perfect timing because I was thinking while we were away, I should definitely have made some camping socks. And I could come up with motifs to put on the socks for camping. And these are by the Pacific Knit Company. And Roxy's outside crying at the door. Tells you how to use them, but then it gives you like there are a couple of patterns, like there's a standard cowl or an infinity cowl, but I totally plan to use them on socks. So you get these little motif charts,
the stitch motifs
on here.
Cute.
And I just want to, there's a little fire, but I specifically want to show you. I think it was right at the back. This one was a cute one. The little coffee cups.
That's cute.
Hang on, hang tight. There's one on here that's really good. Oh, flashlights are pretty fun too. But probably going to be the last one. Squirrels. They're really cute. Bear. You hope to never meet him while you're camping.
No kidding.
And deer. But okay. Gosh darn it. Oh, here it is. Camper.
Oh, that's cute.
Yep. How adorable, right? And I thought these are like, I was so grateful to get those. I thought this is absolutely a perfect gift for me. And I can't wait to figure out how I'm going to incorporate them into a pair of socks and get going on those. So thank you so much. It was overwhelming, the amount of generosity that's there. And it wasn't just directed at us. Let me assure you, like those goodies are there for everyone. And the leftovers, I believe, went to a charity shop, anything that was still there. And yeah.
Okay. And then I got this from Debbie, and this is a flight of stitch markers. These Coco Knit stitch markers are like my favorite stitch markers ever.
Yes.
So in this pack, you get like I'll just show you on the back. You get the split rings, you get the triangles, you get the small ones, you get the regular size ones, and you get the large ones.
Yes.
And all I have these small ones, and I swear my couch eats those things. But they are my favorite stitch markers. They don't take up any space on your needle, and they're all color coordinated. So you can pick out like a green one for your start of round. And yeah, I just really like these. So
these were from Debbie as well. Yes. And I thought, boy, she knew me well. So it's just lovely. I'm sure maybe I've forgotten something or something hasn't been unpacked yet. So if I have left anyone out, I apologize. Oh, that's right. These. Yeah, that's already upstairs. I've already put that away.
So this is a jewel pin. This was from Joyce and Irene. And it's a jewel shawl pin. So it's actually got the leather cuff that can go right around your shawl, as well as I've actually got to look at it and figure out how you put it, but you can put it around your shawl. And then it's also got the pin that you can put through, and then you can move it to any of your shawls. So instead of having to tie a knot or tie something in your shawl, you can put the pin in to keep it in place. So yeah, so I want to get one of my shawls out and try this.
Mine is a little different. Mine can be used if you have a sweater that doesn't have a button closure on it and you want to close it, you can put it on both sides, and then there's a ring that sort of joins in the middle. And I just received that really good sweater from Sarah that was set up that way. And I think that I might be able to use it
on that one.
Yeah.
So
Vicki says her husband is always asking what she's looking for when she's down on her hands and knees.
No kidding. I know.
It does. It happens often. And those little ones.
Seriously.
They fly. They're so slippery, but they're my favorites too. Those Coco Knits are the best.
You hear it fall and then it's gone. And it's gone. Like I heard you fall. Where did you go? So anyway.
Oh, look at that. Netta May said she told her son that those stitch markers are worth their weight in gold. He took it to heart and he mailed the ones that he found after she was visiting. How sweet.
So
how sweet.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Julia. Or ping, ping, ping when you vacuum.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I have a lot of the light bulb stitch markers because I buy them in a big package. So I'm not so worried about losing those, but I can't stand, I'm looking all over when I lose one of my little Coco Knits ones.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
So, okay. So we should probably talk about Makealongs.
Oh, yes. So I have a new slide because we have a new Make-along coming up, but just see what we've got here.
Okay. So the two current ones that are going on are our year-long sock Make-along. So we're coming up to the end of the month, July 31st. 2 more days to get your socks in there. Yes. At the end of the month, we'll draw 2 prizes, a pattern prize donated by our friend Natalie and a sock yarn prize. And we will go back to the beginning of the year to draw for that. And then the next one that is coming to a close also on July 31st is our Christmas in July. And that is your make an ornament, holiday themed garment, accessory, or use a holiday yarn. You have to use a minimum of 25 grams of yarn and no whips. So you've got a couple more days, and we might even leave it open a few days after, because I know July is kind of short. So maybe we'll leave it open till the day before we podcast next. So to give you a little bit more time if you haven't quite finished up. And if you have finished up, you have time to do something else and get it in there too. So, And then Kelly, do you want to talk about the new one?
So we have a new one starting August the 1st, and it is called the Sweater Stash Down. So we're going to run this one all the way through to November. We have something coming up for the month of December, which we're not going to tell you ahead of time.
No, we're not.
So this is August to November the 30th. So lots of time. So what we're looking for this time is an adult size sweater from stash. Has to be at least 75% of stash yarn, which means it needs to be in your stash prior to August the 1st. You could use 25%. So for instance, if you had a nice base yarn and you wanted to do a sweater that you need a very pretty skein for a yoke, it's okay to get that yoke yarn if it's less than 25% of the final project. Whips are also allowed if they are less than 25% complete at August 1st.
Okay. So that's lots to keep you busy. August 1st is almost here. Hard to believe. But yeah, so we thought 4 months is probably good because it's that, it is a lot more time to knit a sweater. Plus, you might want to get it started now and just have the top part of it while the weather's still warm, but then you'll have some of the cooler months to get into it and actually finish the body and the sleeves of the sweater. So yeah, and that'll help get a lot of yarn out of your stash.
That's right, because we all know that the fall markets are coming up.
That's right.
Soon enough. And you'll be out there wanting to buy more. So this will help you feel better about your fall purchases if you have something on the needles that you've used up from prior yarn festivaling.
Yeah, that's right, Stephanie. It's a good reason to start your autumn league pullover. We know we've all been to festivals this year, last year, and we've bought sweater quantities of yarn that have not been touched yet. So you need to get in there and get that out and get working on it. So. And then you'll be able to buy another sweater quantity at the next event. Okay, so we want to thank everybody for joining us. We hope that you have a wonderful week knitting, that it's not too hot for you wherever you are, or if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, that it's not too cold for you wherever you are. And we hope to see you back next week. We'll be back next week, next Tuesday.
Different locations next week, though.
Locations, but I will have gone and come back.
Okay. And I thought you were staying for a week. Sorry. Okay.
No, no. I'm actually home for about 3 or 4 days, and then I go back up to a different location in Muskoka.
Okay. So I will be coming to you from Chilliwack. We leave on Sunday and head out there for a couple of weeks. So again, if you're in the Chilliwack area and you want to get together somewhere and knit, just let me know on Instagram and be happy to do that. I'm looking forward to seeing my West Coast friends that I get together with while I'm out there. And yeah, all the good things, all the good knitty things.
Okay, so take care, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everybody that watches after. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Happy knitting.